Excellence call. This is Lynn Gardner. I'm calling in from chilly and overcast, probably rainy Virginia yet again, trying to keep my own attitude right with all this rain that we're getting. It's been unbelievable, right? Lots of things going on, but we this year, the entire year, really, from spring until now, we've had enough rain here to float Noah's Ark. It's been unbelievable, and the rain is bringing a lot of challenges our way. As we try to prepare the outside of the farm to look the way it usually looks for our visitors that'll be here in just a little over a week. When it rains, you can't bush hog fields or paint roofs or do any of those things that we've set to do. And every time we turn around, we're faced with those challenges. Lots of things can't get done because those are things that are totally out of our control. When I consider those things that are causing me stress, I'm inclined to go that place, and things I can't change, my mind gets all cluttered up with dozens of things that need to be done right now, but they're not getting done. And you know what? Before you know it, I allow those things to stress me out. It's never okay to stress over things like that. You've heard me say before with this event, I'm way outside of my comfort zone. Okay, this is not my thing. I may paint that picture online, and you may look at this and say, wow, she just loves doing this. No. This is not my thing. I do this to serve, first of all, my God, and second of all, you. And it's always been this way for me, even from the first event, that we did here. You guys have heard me tell the story where I made the mistake of whining to Tamia that, events were too far away for us to take, guests to. And she said, step up, girl. And I did. She challenged me and I stepped up. I was only a 3A at the time, and not just a 3A, but one that absolutely is not gifted in this area. But I did it, and I'm going to continue to do it. Because by taking these events on, I have a chance to serve you, and I have a chance to serve God, right? If there's anything that gets me into trouble, though, it's worrying too much about everybody else. See, I do want the farm to shine, but it's not for my sake. I see it all the time. I see the beauty every day. I see it when it's shining. I see it when it's overgrown because of the rain and we can't mow. I see it when it's snowing. I see it when it's raining. I see it when, it's all browned up because we haven't had enough rain. I already know the beauty. And rest assured, I know one thing with certainty. I live here, but it's not my farm. It's God's farm. So I want to do my very best to please everybody, right? And I want to share the beauty with my world. And it's my worry much more about those things that gets me in trouble. When I look at the details and I don't take it one step at a time, I get in trouble. I got myself in trouble last year. I was in such a frenzy, worried about everybody else, and in reality, what happened was that, the details about the size of the event, it was going to look different. See, when you drive up to the farm and there's an event going on, we make it shine. The first year there were big tents, and we'll always have flags and all these decorations around, right? But I was so worried about people driving up and it not looking the same that I started, change say, okay, well, we're going to make it a little bit different here. I was trying to prepare people for it to look different and cause the most confusion in the world, right? I didn't cancel anything, but because I owned it and I was trying to explain the details, I caused that confusion myself, right? I should have stayed out of it. I shouldn't have stressed over it. I should have just expected, so what? The event looks different. After all, if you were told to go to an event in a hotel, in a ballroom, and you got there and the ballroom name had changed because we shrunk down the ballroom to adjust for the numbers, nobody would be complaining. But, I wasn't taking it one step at a time. And that's what I should have done, and how I get myself in trouble, and so do you. But it's human nature, or at least it can be my human nature to do that. And I need that reminder every once in a while that's inspired that message today entitled One Step at a Time. No matter what we're trying to do in life, anything significant whatsoever, all those things are only achieved one step at a time. That's true for building any kind of relationship in your life. It's true for building your family. It's true for building a church, and it's especially true for building a business. You can't do anything all at once, right? You don't build a relationship just by saying, I'm in a relationship. You build it over time, one step at a time. Some steps are good steps, and some steps are painful steps. Some steps are actually fruitless steps, and it ends in a train wreck. You build a relationship one step at a time. You don't build a healthy family from the second the child is born. It's not like poof, everything's perfect. Baby may seem perfect, but ain't nothing else going to be perfect. You build it over time, one step at a time. Some steps are good, some steps are not so good, and some end up being fruitless, and we learn to pick our battles with our children. You don't build a church just by saying, hey, we're going to build one. There are lots of steps in the process, from defining the vision, why are you starting a new church, right, to picking the leadership, to finding a location, and to gathering up the money. It's all one step at a time. And when it comes to business, the one step at a time mindset is the only way to success. There aren't any shortcuts to any of these things, guys. We have to go through the grueling process of one step at a time to get there, whether we like it or not. We come into the business, we establish our why, we have goals and a dream, and all those are necessary things to succeed. But having a vision board and keeping your focus does not bring success. It's that one step at a time that makes it happen. And it's the dream that keeps you going, right? That's what keeps you from quitting. It's a dream, but that's not what gets you there. No matter how many times we flounder and we fail, or how many times people come and go in our world, know how many new products are out there, or new ventures that are presented to us almost every day. Rest assured, when I tell you, there is no easy way to make money, and it always requires one step at a time. It's just funny how people get boggled up with that. There are internet options out there, right now, to help us reach the world through social media. There's no way around that, really, for lots of reasons, right? It's wonderful to have those tools, and especially wonderful for people who aren't, really experienced with social media. There are tools to help them get there. But it's very sad when I see people jump on board with something that they believe is going to lead them to easy money. When I know for sure that even those amazing digital options require one step at a time. There is no easy way to get there. It requires a different kind of step, no doubt about that. But it's not possible for me to accomplish all the tasks that I need to accomplish, here all at once. It's not possible for anybody in any situation. Each task will be addressed one by one step at a time, and that's the only way we're ever going to achieve most of them, weather permitting or not, right? You're in business. There's no doubt about that. At least you say you're in business. And to be in business, you do need to have goals and dreams, a plan, and a willingness to grow one step at a time. In our world, we look to superstars for motivation. There was just an incredible event. I was sorry to have missed it, on the West Coast, and I only had my hands too full here to go, but, it just looked amazing. Lots and lots of superstars there. And we look to them for our motivation. That's a good thing. But the ones that we like to focus on did not get rich overnight. They didn't find the easy way to money. They did not get blessed more than you and I can have the potential to be blessed. They had already put in the time and the effort on themselves, that character building process, to prepare them for this journey. And then they set out one step at a time. We talk about Romy, one of the most humble human beings I've ever met in my life. Romy went 6A in 90 days, and we're like, wow, can you imagine 6A in 90 days? But he did it going one step at a time. The only difference is that he was sprinting to 6A, repeating the simple steps that you and I need to do over and over again. He just did more of it. He ran to 6A. 6A didn't run to him. It didn't get thrown in his lap. He didn't get lucky. He did a demo, which for him, by the way, involves just a bottle of pH drops and a couple things, right? And he went home to home to home. And he did those home meetings, 3 or 4, those quote unquote demos every day that it was possible to do. He booked as many as he could. He ran to 6A. And that's how and why he accomplished it in record time. Cynthia found success, and she continues to find success just like Romy, because she keeps it simple and she takes it one step at a time. Cynthia did not fall into the business and all of a sudden everything was just there and she's more blessed than you and I are. The same simple approach to success. She doesn't rent big rooms to do a weekly science project with a runway full of bottles. Hey, you would think Romy and Cynthia would certainly have progressed into these big complicated demos, right? They don't do that. She meets with people still today, one-on-one, drops a few drops, and the rest is history. The difference is that she takes a lot of steps, one step at a time. The biggest things we should focus on is not the glitz and glamour. Of course, that motivates us. You know, we'd like to have the things they have, and showing lifestyle in our world is very important. But the fact that the superstars that we look up to built this business, and they continue to build this business just one step at a time, is the main thing you and I need to be focused on. Again, no unique approach. They have not transitioned into a newer, bigger, better way. They have not said, I'm not going to deal with human beings anymore. I'm going to go out in the digital world. They have not done weekly meetings, you know, getting bigger and bigger rooms. They've not done that. There's no new, unique approach. They didn't reinvent the wheel. They didn't get lucky. They didn't, again, expand their demo. They kept it simple, and they built it one step at a time. When we lose sight of the importance of looking at our relationships or our children or our faith or our business being built one step at a time, we do what I do, okay? We get frustrated and anxious and overwhelmed because, like me in this farm project, we're looking at lots of details all at once, and we get focused on all the details instead of breaking it down into one step at a time. You know, Michael Jordan became a superstar, not because he was born with talent, you know, but because he shot the same hoop and the same ball over and over again, and he built perfection one step or one hoop at a time. Bill Gates didn't become a mega millionaire overnight. He didn't just have a good timing. He didn't get lucky. He didn't, you know, he didn't find easy money either. He became what he is today by hard work and repetition, a determination to design what the world uses every day today, and he did it one step at a time. You know, there is a saying that Rome wasn't built in a day, and, you know, in reality, nothing worthwhile is built in a day. It's our unrealistic expectations that gets us in trouble. You know, like me with the farm right now, what am I going to do? It's been raining, and we got a lot of outside work to do. But that unrealistic expectation needs to be done right now, you know, creates stress and anxiety. That kind of thing takes the wind out of our sails. And sometimes it causes us to quit. You know, if I wasn't doing this for much bigger reasons, I would already quit, right? But, you know, we have to keep that perspective. It's not just the work. It's the unrealistic expectation about what it takes to get there that gets us in trouble. And it's a refusal to accept that you get there one step at a time that keeps us from success. You know, if you're frustrated with a relationship that you're in, or your children, or your, you know, faith, your church, or your business, you can bet that you have unrealistic expectation. And because of that, you're expecting Rome to be built in a day. When it comes to business, you already know the steps you need to take. The question is, are you taking them? Are you frustrated and you're not making the money you want? So you're reinventing the wheel and trying new things or whatever. I'm so guilty of that, you know, of just kind of looking out there and say, oh, I think I'll try this. We need to keep it simple, right? Are we taking those steps, or are we just causing our own frustration because we haven't experienced the success the superstars see and still do, because they take it one step at a time? Guys, don't get caught up in a lot of things. There are a lot of tools out there. There are a lot of, you know, people, you know, always have a different way. You guys have heard me confess before that, you know, I came into this business and I'd been an accomplished businesswoman. And when I came here, man, I had a better way to do everything. I was changing everything from tools to strategies to everything, right? My ego was so in the way of my success, it wasn't even funny. But, you know, I had to get away from that and look at the people, the Romies, the Cynthias, the Omars, the Michelles, the Eli's, you name the superstars. I had to look at what they're doing. And you know what? They still keep it simple today. They're not keeping it simple, taking one step at a time because they're dinosaurs. They're keeping it simple and building empires, amazing, you know, business, because they continue to take it one step at a time and keep it simple. So don't make the mistake that I make. And if there are tools that you can implement after you start seeing some success. If it's a digital world, go for it. But understand that even in that world, there's no such thing as easy money. There's a such thing as a great opportunity, and we all have that. We have a solid company, a reputable company, a fabulous product, a great comp plan, amazing people around us to help us grow, right? So we have all those things. But one of the things getting in the way is we're refusing to take it one step at a time. We need to be more like Romy. We need to take those simple steps, that one step at a time, that one-on-one strategy, and we need to run with this. Sprint your way to the next level, right? We don't just do it by sitting back and complaining that we're not there. These people are amazing people. I'm so in awe of them. It's the thing that I'm most impressed by, though, the more I get to know the superstars, is that their character. You know, they are humble people. They're not flashing things in front of you and calling you whatever because you're not where they are. They're such wonderful examples. Learn from them. Look at what they're doing. More importantly, look at what they're not doing. They're keeping it simple, taking it one step at a time. So guys, anything meaningful in life, that's the way we have to look at it. I had to have a big reality check, big talk to myself, beat myself up a little bit yesterday as it was pouring rain and I'm looking out at things that need to be done. But once I stepped back and said, okay, this is the situation that I'm in, I need to take it one step at a time, then that project list looks so much more, you know, manageable. And I stopped worrying about, so what if the fields aren't cut when people show up, right? So we got to take it one step at a time. Life is rich and it's beautiful and it's a wonderful journey if we take it one step at a time. So I hope you'll think about that as you go about your day. I hope that I'm going to see some of your wonderful faces. Some people I've never met in person. I would just love to see you here, not this weekend, but next weekend. It's going to be power packed. It's going to be phenomenal. And I'm going to miss you if you're not here. So take it one step at a time. See if you can't figure it out. It's never too late. Go out and make it a great day. I'll see you at the top and I'll see you next week. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.